Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. For an incredible range of products to take your streams to the next level, head over to the Elgato website. The link is in the description below. It's that time again.
What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll, from sea to shining sea. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll, from sea to shining sea.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing Hype Energy F1 2018 Season 16 round number 4 around the streets of Baku in Azerbaijan. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box, I'm always happy to say, is my faithful companion, Mr. Hamish Sopwith. Hello to you, sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone. What a track. 6 kilometres, one of the longest on the calendar, with a 2 kilometre flat out section, which Vito currently, was currently driving down, now in towards the twisty section of 5, 6, leading on to 7, and then the castle section. Particularly narrow part of. So, you know, will we see any incidents last year? I don't know, so got the poll. It's 139.4. he was able to get beating Brendan Lee to the line, but as we...
Unfortunately, we're having a bit of difficulty with Discord. Discord seems to be cutting Hamish off rather a lot, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. Don't know why. It's a bit of a first. But what we will do, whilst our drivers continue along their merry way, doing their hot laps, we will get our track facts dealt with. If I just hit that. Exactly as Hamish said, it is the Baku city that graces us for round number 4, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, known as the European Round of the Season. Fabrizio Donato narrowly beat Brendan Lee, and by the mere budget, was barely by the length of the front wing last time out, to take what I believe was his one and only win. 6 kilometres, as Hamish previously mentioned, 20 turns, and it's an exceedingly challenging circuit that our drivers have to deal with. Danny Ricciardo's 3-car pass in the first corner last year was judged as one of the best overtakes of the entire season. Absolutely fabulous. We'll see what our drivers are able to achieve in this particular round. And there we go.
So far.
Oh, Hamish, are you back?
Yeah. Well, I was hoping. Hopefully, Discord has fixed it. So far, that's the fastest time of 36.4, narrowly ahead of Jan Failer and VP Smash as well. That is the new name you can see in that Albert.
Indeed, and here are our tyres. Tyre allocations: soft, super soft, and ultra soft is what is available to us. We will be heading to the hot lap as commentated by Justin once again very shortly. Just waiting for that to pop up. There we go, that is where the track records currently lie. Pole time last round at 1:39.4, and also won by Fabrizio Donato last time out. So let's get the glorious hot lap dealt with on board with one of the Ferraris. Just waiting for that to kick in. Oh, forgot about the map, of course. There it is. That's how the 6 kilometers stand. 2 DRS zones, very hungry walls are waiting to bite at any given moment. And here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan as we go on board with the Ferrari around one of the newest tracks on the F1 calendar. Arriving at turn 1 now at over 340 kph and moving as far right as possible to open up the corner, braking just before the 100-meter board and down to 3rd gear. Keep the cards at the right-hand side as we barrel down toward the second of 3 90-degree lefts that make up the majority of Sector 1. We want to focus on having a good exit here as it's a long run down to turn 3, a corner where we expect to see lots of battling this weekend. Again, you'll spot your braking on the right-hand side and just before the 100-meter board, making use of 3rd gear once again, but quickly moving over to the left-hand side to open up the 90-degree right at the end of Sector 1. Now it's just a short sprint and a few gear changes down to the chicane of turns 5 and 6, using 3rd at the entrance here, but dropping to 2nd gear for the exit. And then it's a slightly longer sprint as we get into the castle section of Sector 2. Turn 7 really isn't an overtaking location despite the heavy braking into it from 6th gear right down to 2nd. Another dash to the next series of corners where you'll need full commitment as you flash between the barriers in 3rd gear, staying to the left at the exit to open turn 11 and more importantly turn 12, as now it's full throttle through 13 and 14 as we climb over the highest point of the circuit and begin the descent into the tricky turn 15. Braking before the 50-meter board and being careful to avoid the barrier at corner exit is the best strategy as you position yourself for the most important corner on the circuit. Braking around 80 meters and down to 3rd gear for the final time during this lap, the focus is now on avoiding oversteer or wheel spin and setting yourself up for the best finish to the lap and the best start to the next lap. 18 and 19 are easy flat in 2018 with the DRS detection at the apex of turn 20, and then keep that foot buried as it's a straight shot to the finish line. That is the lap of Baku. Best of luck to everyone racing this weekend on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox in Apex Online Racing.
Beautiful. Right, let's see how our drivers are getting on, shall we? With just over 9 minutes to go. And Formula Danny is our current pole man, who's just set it indeed, 1:36.445 on the boards. Jan Fader currently second, 1:36.554. Wow, that is close. what have we got? What's the distance between them? It is just over a tenth between Danny and Jan Fader. I'm going to have a crack at pronouncing this. Presnesia. I apologise wholeheartedly if that was wrong. That's VP Smash currently third, 2 tenths down, with Wycom's fourth and Nobody 5, Denosa sixth. White Lilac 7, Slick. Already putting himself as back mark here, apparently. VB Mark 3139 and Veloci Photon rounds out our top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty difficult track, this. It's so long, and to be able to keep your concentration up for the entirety is very indeed. Last year, in fact, all the quali times, we didn't. The whole gap from first, I believe it was 14th, wasn't even so expected to be quite close. Earlier on, the Oceanic guy, they had their strategy was very much starting on the super softs and go compound. Now it looks like our PC drivers are going to be starting on. I think they're going to last that long, so possibly even less than lap 9. So it'll be interesting how they do a Photon going through that castle section. I must admit, every time a driver through their Kodiak, you really have to eat your teeth because it is so close to the wall. And Wycombs gets the fastest lap. Good job from him, a 36 point.
Yeah, unfortunately the Discord lag is pretty bad this time, sadly, Hamish. We don't really know why. It could be a problem my side, although if it is, I don't know really what to do to fix it, because everything else seems to be running okay. Discord tells me I have a decent connection, but it's just not running too well. Wycombe by 77,000 of a second ahead of Jan Fehler, who's dethroned Formula Danny by 3,000 of a second, gets back onto the top spot. Wow, that's a real statement. 36.320 by the Mercedes esports driver. But what a great effort then by Wycombe. Just 3,000 off the top spot. Jan Fehler is 800th behind. Alvaro Carreton, we haven't mentioned him before now. There he is, 2 tenths down from the top spot. What is his lap? 136.557. Then it is Smash. I'm not going to attempt to. I'm not going to murder his name that many times. I'll be honest. So Photon, Nobody, Denosa, they're in 8th position. Most people running the ultra softs. Garrick's running the supers. Crow on the softs. Oh, very interesting. Non-runner choosing not to run a qualifying lap. Haddad and Tanita are 2 Renault runners not yet set a lap. Curious and curious. Vito hasn't set a lap. Yellow flags in sector 2. Not sure what's going on there. And everyone's seen. The only people that haven't set a lap are Vito, Haddad, and Tanita at the moment. So we'll see what's what. Also, we're going to try and sort out what's going on. We're going to try something slightly different with my connection to Hamish. Hopefully that will sort itself out as well. So unfortunately we've had a few hiccups with Discord in the past. Hamish, you with me?
I am indeed. Hopefully things will become a little bit more clear from now on. Wow, look at that, Danny, with the pole time. If I look at the top 3, I don't know if you mentioned Kodiak, 800 cover the top 3. That's pretty close.
Yeah, unfortunately you're still lagging, but I think this might be slightly better. We'll have to run with it, unfortunately. I think I might have to kind of look at what's going on with my Discord, as it's not the only time that's given me an issue, just all recently. So, yes, indeed, Danny is right up there with the pole spot, but the top... Who's out there? White Lilac is currently out there. If I find his name, there he is. Currently in 6th, and the Ferrari. 4 tenths off the top spot at the moment. 136.739. Most of the people back in the pits at the moment. So we'll see if he is able to improve. He's heading down towards the last few turns, heading down to 16. This race will be very familiar to all competitors that took part in the esports qualifiers back in March and April. And this generates some very interesting moments in the esports qualifiers, such as a massive pile-up that happened in the Xbox round, I believe it was, in the castle section. And White Lilac bins that one. He doesn't improve, so he remains in 6th position.
Yeah, it just goes to show the concentration you need to be able to get this track. I mean, we've got a pretty close grid, actually, up until a Denoso in P9. He'd be wanting to improve on that, although very impressive time on the super soft compound tyres, Kodiak. It does take for drivers quite a long time to get around this track. Obviously, it's a 136. It's one of the longest tracks on the calendar.
Yeah.
That means they do need to allow extra time. They always need to allow at least 2 minutes. And I mean, if you think about 17 drivers all coming out within just 2 minutes, that's a lot of traffic as well. So you've got a Force India coming out with the Renault of Daniele Haddad, I believe that is. So
on the super soft, interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder, well, he's obviously going to try and get as high up as he can. So far, Donoso's making that strategy work. And then you have the likes of Chromatic is also on the super soft, and, well, potentially David Tornisa, I think, is going to try super softs as well.
Yeah, Chromatic has only set a sort of an exploratory lap on the soft tyres. He's coming down to turn 16 at the moment. Yellow flags in sector 2 again. So, yeah, but interesting, Tunisia still hasn't come out. There is Daniele Haddad. Oh, wow, he nearly stuck it nose first into the wall, leading into the castle section. That wouldn't have helped. So, oh, and again, riding over the curbs quite hard there. That's one of the Toro Rossos he's just gone past. It's either Vito or nobody, I believe. Wycombs and Carrington come out. Smash is on a lap at the moment. But I'm curious to see how Daniele Haddad's going to do on those super soft tyres. Garrett's the only other person to set a time on them.
Yeah, me too. Although his lap wasn't particularly perfect, he had a little bit of traffic, and that definitely would have put him off a tiny bit. Might have cost him a couple of tenths. Approaching the line around about now, and it is looking solid. And it's just slower than Donoso. So it looks like Donoso's time is a pretty good lap time on both super soft tyres. I think if he can stay inside that top 10, I think he's in a really good race position, and potentially so is the other Renault, who's also on his outlap. That is Tornisa on the super soft compound tyres code there.
Ah, so both the Renaults running that strategy. And look at that. 3 drivers, 37-0, 37-20-024 for nobody, 027 for Donoso, and 052 by Haddad. Again, bearing in mind that Haddad is on those slower tyres as well. As Formula Danny now coming out, everybody is out on track with less than 1¼ minutes remaining in this race for Baku. 2 drivers, well, non-runner choosing to retire from the session, or having a technical problem and being forced to retire from the session, so he won't have a time on the board. Vito and Tunisia are yet to put a time on, as everybody then going towards the castle session. Oh, this could be a little awkward for Vito. He's got some cars ahead of him that were slowing down to warm up their tyres. Don't seem to be catching them though, so he's coming to the end of his lap then through. Oh, and he's hit the wall. Yeah, he caught that apex a little bit too hard, bounces the car, unsettles it, and you heard that bang. And he's run wide then on the exit of turn 16, so that's that lap pretty much binned. And he's got enough fuel, but he's got less than 50% electrical energy. Oh no, the red fuel light's on, so I would imagine Vito will probably just register this one, but it's not going to be a great lap for him. And there he is in 11th.
Vito does have fuel enough fuel to finish the lap, but he's pretty much been there. And in fact, Slick has just hit the barrier pretty hard. I'm not entirely sure what corner he's coming up to, Kodiak. Apologies about that.
That's 3 and 4. That's
his lap's already over. To be honest, it's not ideal. I don't know why Combs has just put himself ahead of Formula Danny about 1,000.
By 1,000th of a second. The Red Bull has stolen the pole time. Danny's on a time lap. Yep,
he's coming through the castle section as we speak. So far, his lap has been solid. He has use the maximum of the track exactly what he needs to on this downhill section. Such a difficult braking zone. It's so easy to lock up at this point and fly into the wall. How does Danny negotiate it? Of course, absolutely perfect. Hit the wall. That's cost him about 1/10.5 of a second onto this main back straight. And as long as he gets a good exit, which he has, he'll be able to carry that speed. It's not looking that ideal. He's not going to pick up any slipstream from a car in front, and now it's just the waiting game. He's got about 10 seconds of flat out until he reaches that line. What's it looking like? Times to about 1:36.3 is coming ever close, and he's done it by over 2 and a bit attempts.
Wow!
Fantastic work. Good job from him. Anyone else know what lap is White Lilac? He's coming to the start-finish line, not going particularly quick. It's 36.7. That's decent. 2 Renaults will be perhaps a little bit frustrated, but they didn't quite get into the top 10. And it's just started raining. Yeah, it has just started raining. So
it did?
It's a good job that they set their laps when it did. Is that going to mean rain for the race?
Well, we will have to wait. 36-0 for Formula Danny. Oh, wow. I mean, we were thinking that 36-3, you know, bearing in mind Wycombe stole that by 1,000 of a second, and boom! And the Formula Danny just goes and throws that one in there. Oh! Goodness me. Talk about statement of intent. My God. Is anybody still on a hot lap? Nobody, I believe, is...
no, I don't think so. You just got
down.
Vito coming into the pit. So
yeah.
And that's the thing with Formula Danny. He's so quick. He's quick anyway, and he's always going to be at the top. But he has that extra 2 temps, which no other driver seems to be able to have. If you have him on his, on one of his good laps, then he's in a different league. Well, obviously, Formula Danny with that pole time of 1:36.091. Great job from him. Wycombe's just behind him. Well, I say just behind him. It's actually a couple of turns. Is about 20 car lengths for these drivers. ACR Failer in 3rd. Good job from him for McLaren. Ferrari with a decent result there in P40 with Photon. VP Smash in the Alfa Romeo, again powered by the Ferrari, a 36.5. Nobody, another 36.5, another 36.5 by count on. They have Denoso, Garrick's, White Lilac rounding out the top 10. But you have Tunisa, Hanad, Vito, Mark, Chromatic, Slick, and I'm not entirely sure what happened on runner Kodiak. I don't know. He seemed.
Yeah, I think he may have had a technical. Yeah, I think he had a technical problem of some description.
In fact, he had an issue with his tyre. Whether he hit the wall and had to retire, I'm not entirely sure, because it's showing him as tired.
Well, that looks pretty dry, which is nothing unusual, really, for Azerbaijan. So we're waiting for our drivers to get back on board, and we will then get the formation lap underway. But what a stunner then from Formula Danny, taking that by 3/10. But fair play to Wycombe's really throwing that in there, just initially a thousands behind him, ahead of him rather, and then still getting that on 2nd. Great effort then for Failer as well, and the McLaren up there in 3rd. So yes, this should be interesting, but also bearing in mind that when they're at full crank, they use a lot of their electrical energy. There's a lot of braking points in this particular race because there's a lot of corners, but there's a lot of flat out here, so it really does, just drain the batteries down to next to nothing. So there's going to be a lot of give and take in this. But here we go then, on the formation lap. Mercedes leads, Red Bull leads McLaren, Ferrari of Photon 4, Smash, and with a name that I certainly can't pronounce. Oh, wow, that looks... I thought Nosa was going to throw that into the wall for a moment there. Then it is Toro Rosso of Nobody. He's fallen to the back for some reason. He's showing in 6th, but he's actually at the tail of the field. Something's gone wrong with ACR Nobody there. So don't know what's happened to him. Carrington, 7th. Denoso, 8th. I mean, this is the formation lap. They will retake their proper, the actual racing positions when they get back to the line. Garrick's in the next Mercedes with White Lilac in the 2nd Ferrari, winding up the top 10. What tyres did particularly our non-top 10 runners use?
Look at Denoso.
Yeah, he's super soft.
Super soft. Good job from him. He'd be very pleased. I remember how close Denoso and Haddad was, and look how far apart they are now. They were neck and in qualifying, but several positions for the race. And Denoso, we know he's quick. He won here last. Brendan Lee as well, and to beat Brendan Lee, you've got to be one of the quickest drivers. And now Danny has long drive down the start.
My stream FPS has died for some reason. That's not helpful. I'm keeping an eye on it. It's been running fine. If I have to choke it, then I will. Why has that happened? That's very frustrating considering it's been absolutely fine. Right, I've got a few seconds to try and sort that out. Okay. We should be back momentarily then. With our guys following on the grid. Again, apologies for that. Don't know why the FPS died there. In the closing... At least it happened in the warm-up lap. Let's be thankful for that. So...
Look at nobody. Just making his way through the field.
Yeah, just...
Danny is waiting a long time, although the tyre temperatures are a bit less relevant.
Here we go then. It is 3, it is 4, it's 5 lights. It is time to wind them up and let them go. A lovely start by most of the field. Ooh, that's a little bit late there by the Ferrari. I think it was a smash then, nice and easy through turn 1. Everybody kind of realising they can't win it in the first lap. And through turn 2 they come then. Everybody coming through. Oh, that's very close. I think that was the Williams of Carey that got very close to being squeezed into the wall then. No discarded bits of carbon fibre yet. That's Jan Fehler making himself very known to Wycom's then in second position on board with the McLaren, who himself is defending very hard from Photon in the Ferrari in fourth. Wycom's and Danny looks like they're beginning to break away towards the front there. That's very impressive there. Already we're seeing a gap of over a second between Fehler and Wycom's. That's very unexpected before we've even completed the first lap. No massive gaps, and it looks like everybody has made it so far so good.
Yeah, absolutely. This castle section is definitely the most challenging, especially on the first lap. Like you say, so far so good, no spins, and it looks like everyone's got fairly cleanly. There's a couple of drivers with a little bit of damage. Non-runner has a bit of front wing damage, so does Mark. I don't think it's going to affect Mark. Non-runner, I think he's going to come into a pit sooner rather than later, which will be frustrating for him because he's on the super soft, the less optimal super soft tyre. So you have a field of a grid of two strategies. Denosa's actually lost her position, although trying to overtake the Ferrari of White Lilac round the outside and made momentarily, but that is position. A good driving from both drivers, although perhaps a little bit too close for comfort. Definitely not going to go to the stewards, and they won't be looking at that, I wouldn't have. White Lilac now in the slipstream. Obviously Danny with the fastest lap being the first lap. Is a Ferrari going to try something up the inside? He puts his hand up and randomly, and the other Denoso gets a decent drive over a little bit wide.
Two side-by-sides coming through turn 2. That's 4, 5, 6 and 7. Photon, Smash, Nobody and Carey all side-by-side riding on board with White Lilac, with Carey at the moment. Now streaming down towards turn 3. Oh, that's a big problem. That's that was the Ferrari of Photon breaking a bit early, caught Carey out a little bit, and no major damage. Wheel to side pod isn't going to cause too much of a headache. Now streaming on down towards the next twisty section, R5 and 6. Now, all so far so good, and again very, very close. No, I don't think anyone's been in the pits yet, so no discarded bits of wing so far.
And nobody actually picked up a not considerable amount of damage.
Oh, Danny's out! We've lost Danny!
And Formula Danny is out. That's a big blow for him. What an
there he is! He's hit the wall at the top of the castle section.
Oh, that is so unlucky for the Mercedes driver.
Oh my goodness.
That means our first safety car of the season is going to bunch a pack up.
Yeah.
King-Kodiak. Now, leaders have a decision. Do they come in? Does Wycom's come in? Get his pit stop out of the way. If I was White Lilac, I'd come into a pit and get those ultra soft tyres out of the way. They're not working for him at the moment. He's too far down in P9. For the likes of Denoso, his safety car is going to work out very well. And the likes of Climatic and Haddad and potentially Vito as well. Nobody had front wing damage. Will that make him want to come into the pit? In fact, I'd almost say absolutely. He's looking like he is. And yes, he is coming into the pits with that front.
Yeah, Carey and Nobody. Yeah, several people coming in indeed, as kind of would expect with a safety car there. So that is Smash, Nobody, White Lilac, Garrix and Non-Runner all coming into the pits using the safety car as a great opportunity to do so. None of the front runners And there is the safety car, so everyone else remaining where they are. Smash going onto the soft tyres, Garrick super soft, White Lilac and nobody on soft, and non-runner on super soft. Yeah, what a shame from Formula Danny. Just goes to show, yeah, even the greats make mistakes, and what a catastrophic mistake on the first lap then from the lead. Unbelievable. There he is in chat. First ever DNF. Oh, that's my heart goes out to you, Danny. But even the greats make mistakes, my friend. Yeah, I have no doubt whatsoever he will bounce back from that. But yeah, that's an awkward place to recover a car from, obviously in real life terms. So you can see the field then working their way round to that particular point. And that's where the issue happened for Danny. And it's so close up there. Again, referring back to the esports qualifiers we had back at March and April time. It was in that castle section where we had a huge pile-up, 3 or 4 cars. Wycombs, the person we're looking at now leading this race, was involved in that particular incident. So it can happen to absolutely anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I'm almost. It's about as tight as Rascas. No, not Rascas. As tight as the hotel, the Vermont Hotel hairpin in Monaco. So it is very difficult to negotiate at speed. Only crumb of comfort for Formula Danny is at least he knows it was a personal mistake rather than a disconnect or something like that. But it doesn't make it any easier. The safety car is still staying out, possibly only for this lap. So hopefully it will come in at the end of this lap and racing will be underway. Now this is quite interesting, Kodiak. Wycombs has very much missed his opportunity to come into the pits. I mean, if we have a look at the drivers who have stopped, if I can find that out, we've actually have Smasher stopped, Garrick's a stop, White Lilac, Nobody, and Non-Runner have stopped.
So
and
Slick.
Actually, and Slick as well now, yes. And Smash actually in P11 is, I think, in a pretty good position. He is now on the soft compound tyres, presumably going to the end of the race.
We just lost VP Mark as well, I saw. So he's had a technical problem of some description. And there he is in the Haas. So if he's able to rejoin, he may well resume control of his car. But he's had a technical problem. We may have had the second failure of or second retirement from this race. This, of course, will help out for fuel loads. Anyone that was running a bit close to the limit for fuel. Well,
yeah, I can tell you, Coda, everyone's well within in the green now.
I should think
this
so.
is a track where actually you'd be more tempted to overfuel the car than underfuel. For example, Monaco, you can get away with underfueling because the difference between lean and rich is fairly negligible. It's it's a few tenths, whereas here it's probably a second and a half.
Yeah,
it is different, and it's absolutely massive. I mean, if you're gaining 10 miles an hour on the straights, by being able to set your fuel correctly, it is a big gain. So actually, this really does have the guys prepare. But Vito at the moment, he has plus 5 laps of fuel. So I don't know what race he's planning for. But, yes,
that's comfortable.
Well,
fair enough.
The Dakar clearly is a safety car coming in this lap. I think it is.
Yeah, it's just been announced safety car in this lap, so we will be racing again. And there is Wycombs bunching the field up in the traditional manner. So obviously let the safety car go off into the distance. And this is such an awkward kind of time, unless these guys have practiced this, because this is the first time we've seen this in our split. First time, so it really is dependent on how confident Wycombs is to floor it, because there's no overtaking before the safety car line. Wycombs is still weaving. It's shortly he's going to be flooring it soon, and
he's away.
He is away. Oh, but Carrie's had a really good start. Then he's got the Ferrari under pressure. Jan Fehler is going to be there as well. There we go. There's Carey getting on the inside of 3 of them coming into turn 1. Can he do it? Can he get Photon and Fehler? Fehler is... he has as well. And oh my God. Oh, and Daniele Haddad's got himself a penalty. He won't be happy about that, along with Vito. So a few people...
Vito's driving horrendously. Something pretty catastrophic has happened. I'm not entirely sure what, Kodiak, but it looks like nobody's got himself some more wing damage. Oh no, that's not good at all. His car is just completely totaled. Well, not quite, but close enough. And you've got 2x2 going in Photon, Chromatic, and you've got Tunisia having a go on the McLaren, potentially not quite, a little bit too tight at the moment. But it looks like Wycombe's got a fairly solid launch.
Wow.
That's a little bit too close for a Red Bull driver.
But he's already outside of DRS range. He's had a stunning start, but what a great restart then by Carrington. Jan Fehler back up into third then behind the Williams. But Donoso on those harder tyres right up to fourth just clips the wall there. That won't help. But he's right there in the pound seat. There's Photon 5, Chromatic in the second, McLaren in sixth, but Tunisia and Haddad in a very short succession. Bear in mind they started outside of the top 10 as well. That's not too bad from them. Vito 9 and White Lilac rounds out our top 10. But what a bit of a snap of oversteer there from the Williams coming through that turn 16. Now onto the long section that leads back towards turn 1, and Donoso looks set to strike on Fehler. Fehler's got no answer with that.
Oh my God, Kodiak, I'm so sorry. Garrix is having looked on the inside of the Ferrari of White Lilac, and that was close to a catastrophic incident. And he's going to go on, and he might even get inside braking, but Ferrari come back through. White Lilac wide, with Garrix coming back up the inside. A great move. But Ferrari again is trying another move around the outside route of Vito with that front wing damage. No, he hasn't got front wing damage. I'm talking rubbish. And it looks like they are now just about single file.
Wow, what a big shuffling of positions then as Wycombe continues to lead now. 1.5 seconds is his lead over Carey. Then Donoso is actually right on Carey's case then for that second place. So Donoso's having an absolute stormer. Then Chromatic up into fourth on the soft tyres. He's got Tunisia and Haddad in short succession as well. And Fehler has fallen. I was just thinking, who have we lost? Fehler is right the way down there in last. He's down in 16th. He's had a howler somewhere along the line, and Tunisia has overtaken Chromatic in that castle section for that fourth place. Oh, it's a shame we can't quite see the battle behind in that helicam shot. But yeah, Chromatic's got quite a train behind. But again, I'm keeping an eye on Donoso, and there is the helicam again. Oh, it's just cut away. Yeah, Wycombe, you just saw him at the bottom of the shot. They don't have DRS just yet. Hasn't been renamed. Oh, Donoso a little bit wide coming through 16. But he's really hanging on to the back of Carey. But these Ultrasofts are not going to last too much longer. Fabrizio Donoso having a storm, and Tunisia as well. I think Tunisia was in 12th, I believe, when he started. Carey and Wycombe both in. So Donoso's going to take the lead without anybody to challenge him behind for DRS either.
Yeah, I mean,
there it is.
Very, very impressed from Donoso. Chromatic, whose tyres started, who he started on the soft compound tyres, is currently looking very good as expected. So he's going to be, and Haddad as well, a very good indicator on how long those soft compound tyres. Bear in mind, so they need to last at least 20 laps for the guys who've just pitted to look competitive. I would say, I don't know what, yeah, they're on soft compound tyres is Wycombe's at the moment. And Donoso, he's got a 2.7 second lead at the moment. And in fact, Tunisia has the same gap to his teammate when Chromatic very close behind for Renault, and like you said, Haddad has a bit of a train behind him all the way down to P11, which is slick.
A bit of a train.
It's quite the train. That's a lot of passengers this train is pulling.
Yeah, that's a lot of carriages that Chromatic's got with him. Garrett looks like he's shaping up for a move as well. Garrett on the softer rubber to the McLaren ahead. He's got wide line left behind Vito, and Smash, Non-Runner, Nobody and Slick are all in that particular chain. If you watch from the back, that's what it looks like from the tail of this particular train. Look at this. I imagine this is going to get very, very spicy as they come back down towards turn 1. Chromatic then, here's he come around the last of those corners, turn number 19. That slight right-hand kink then, he's in the slipstream. He'll have DRS when it's available. There it is. Tunisia now sets the fastest lap, and the Mercedes breezes past the McLaren. It looks like he's going to... Ooh, is the Ferrari going to make a big move? That is White Lilac trying to get on the inside of Chromatic. Has he managed to get the job done? Yes, he has. Oh, Chromatic! Oh,
the McLaren has damage. The Chromatic has big wing damage. In fact, a big chunk of his wing has been lost. He's losing about a third of downforce. He's now AI controlled. I'm not sure what happened.
Not sure what happened there.
Oh my God!
Vito
put it in the wall.
Oh,
Vito's put it in the wall. Sorry.
Yeah, Vito. Whether he was kind of put off by the fact that there is Chromatic, so a huge problem then. It didn't look like the Toro Rosso hit the McLaren. I think the McLaren had his own incident there. So yeah, that's now we're seeing the carbon fibre being discarded. Goodness me.
That's going to cost the teams a lot of money at the end of today.
That's going to be a few quid, yeah.
Wings and stuff. The guys are missing. But that's unfortunate for Vito. He hasn't pitted yet, and he's got a long way to get back. In fact, I actually thought his front wheels very much came off the car because he literally just went head on into
it, didn't he? Yeah.
It was very strange. He literally forgot to brake, and then just when he did brake, he just locked up into the wall. Not ideal at all.
It's easy for us to say, of course. We're the ones in the commentary box, and Vito is out. Vito is out of the race. Whether he's actually had an incident or chosen to park it, and there we go. He's actually in the wall. So second DNF of the day, as Mark was just behind him. We were able to see what's happened to his car.
He's closing in on Donoso at a pretty quick rate code.
Hell of a rate, yeah.
2.7. It's now 1.3, and it is Denise's pace. Because if you think Matt Haddad was about 2.5 seconds, he's actually behind. He's now 3 seconds, so he has extended and closed in to Donoso. This is exactly what he wants to be doing. Taylor with the fastest lap on those fresh, super soft tyres. What will he be able to, we are yet to find out. White comes in P10, looking pretty solid so far. Although, when he gets onto the back of Slick, he's going to start to hit that traffic. So, after Slick, he's just got a whole host of cars all the way up until pretty much at that. So, Wycombs is going to hope that, he can clear them quickly, or that they pit before he closes in on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's going to have DRS.
He is within DRS range. So unless has Donoso got damage, because he seems to have really fallen off the pace a little bit.
No, his tyres are a little. He's been pretty harsh on his tyres, I must admit, on those super soft combines, considerably more. In fact, his tyre wear is about an extra, is 1/5 worse than 20. So. And if Donoso keeps going wide like that, he's going to pick himself up a penalty. I wouldn't say he's known for getting penalties, but he does seem to get more penalties than other drivers. And it looks like he just understeered into the wall. Is that a cue for him coming into the pits? He's on the right line at the moment, and it doesn't look particularly defensive. I wouldn't stay too close behind him, Tunisia. And he's very quick to make that decision. Yeah. Now, the two Renault boys need to decide who's pitting first. Obviously, they're on different tyres, so I suppose they won't have that issue. But they really don't want to be wanting to come in on the same lap.
No, I would expect Tunisia to be in within the next few laps. So that again, Failer is charging. Then he is currently in 12th, closing in on Photon, who himself is on the back of Donoso, who's just come out of the pits with those fresh soft tyres on his car. Wycons was leading the race before the safety car was completed. So he is now up to 9th, closing in on Slick, who he himself is on the back of ACR Nobody, or Nobody, hashtag TMITR, as he is now known. Non-runner is very close to White Lilac in the Ferrari. They're coming up to the castle section now, through 7, nowhere really to pass. Here he's got to be careful, unless if White Lilac makes a mistake, non-runner could be caught up in it, and that's exactly what White Lilac does. He gets a terrible run through the castle section that could put non-runner completely off, because he couldn't do anything about it. You can't pass there, so he's had to kind of back out. That's lost him a bit of time on Garrix, who's now up to 3rd place, 1.8 behind Haddad. Oh, and again White Lilac slow coming through that turn 15, now down a few gears into 4th, then coming through 16, is now going to be flat out all the way through to turn 1. Is non-runner going to come in this time? Does Tunisia? No, Tunisia's already passed the... oh no, Tunisia's coming in as well. So is Garrett's going to follow? Let's have a look. So Danelli Haddad's going to take over the lead. No, Garrett continues. And White Lilac's already lost that position to Non-Runner. So Non-Runner had a brilliant run through from turn 16. He's up into third now with the Ferrari right behind. And where does Tunisia filter out? And he's going to filter out in ninth. Sorry, just behind Wycombs. Wycombs is now on the back.
Oh, he's side by side with Donoso. Sorry, Kodiak. Tunisia and Donoso actually made a little bit of contact. I didn't see them coming out of a pits with Renault upbeat inside down this long DRS straight. None of them have DRS on this occasion, and it pretty much moved on unless Donoso gets the good drive, which he did do. He had to look, but wasn't able to do anything. In fact, he almost used a wall to try and help him braking. Got a unique manoeuvre, and it looks like Donoso's going to have to settle with P10. One thing I was going to say, I'm very impressed with Wycomb's pace. He's really shrunk that gap to Slick. He's within DRS range. He really doesn't get held up by it. So close to that castle section, and nobody makes a mistake. Wycomb's looking to the left and to the right to Slick. If he gets a good drive, he might be able to do something off the castle section up towards 13 with his downhill braking section, and he isn't yet. He's going to have to wait till that's back straight, most likely. Again, hitting the wall. He wants to be careful, but he doesn't pick up any damage. Nobody has it, so that might be why he's holding up Slick a little bit, and that wing damage is really going to affect this section. If you're on board with him go down, you'll probably see him understeer quite a lot, really close to hit that wall. In fact, so is Wycombs. He's got a pretty solid front wing. They're going to have Slick and Wycombs. I've got the DRS down his back. He doesn't go into one. Wycombs, and he is so brave. Is he looking at the Sauber as well? No, surely
he does.
Not. What a move! And he's got me inside the next corner. Incredible by Wycombs. Exactly what he needs to do. Nobody's coming up the inside of the Sauber. Wow, it's all happening, Kodiak.
What a move. Talk about passing the waves. He just stuck his car right in the middle of those two, of Nobody and Slick, who are still fighting the Toro Rosso. He's doing his best to do the inside maneuver on the house. Now coming through into turn 4. The Alfa Romeo, beg your pardon, not the house at all. The Sauber then flying up. They're still side by side. They have been through the entirety of the lap. Finally, the Sauber of Slick gets back ahead of Nobody, but the Toro Rosso is not prepared to let that go. Right behind them, Fabrizio Donoso. He's got a great ringside seat for this, because he can't really watch it too much. He's got Tunisia, Jan Fader and Photon in very, very short succession. Actually, Carrington's not too far off the back of that pack either. Big train once again in the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And Donoso obviously made a pretty big move on Tunisia as well. That could be the difference between on and off the podium on this particular race. And Donoso needs to pass Slick and Nobody very quickly. Nobody has this wing damage, which is why we're seeing this big train. Although Nobody's already came into the pits once, and his tyres are looking pretty healthy.
Oh, we've lost Crow.
Oh, that's not good. He was doing quite well. His tyres were only 3 laps old. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Let's see if on board and Mark. If I'll see if
we can find it, because Mark was about 30 seconds behind Chromatic before that happened. I'm looking further upfield. That's Non-Runner on the back of Garrix. Then that's for second, and there you see others. Oh my goodness, 4 cars fighting into turn 1. Nobody lets Tunisia and Donoso through. Donoso and Slick having a battle there for what is 7th position. And still the Force India is alongside the Sauber. And you can see the view there. And that's interesting. That was a failure that just went through. I think that was very much let through. That's exceedingly close then. That's Tunisia and Donoso now through into 7th and 8th. Slick didn't fight that one too much. Jan Fader right in that mixture as well. Goodness me, that's a lot of... And Tunisia having a look at the inside of Donoso coming into 5. Doesn't make that particular move stick. Jan Fader's got a great ringside seat for this. Whilst this is all going on, White Lilac and Non-Runners and Garrett are having their particular battle, and the White Lilac catching on to the back of that 3rd place battle. And that is what it looks like for them. And actually Smash isn't too far behind them. Wycomb's now at the 6th after his early stop. So it is going off everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't able to find out what happened to Chromatic, but there's a little bit of carbon fibre from that McLaren at the castle section. So whatever happened at the castle section, but it didn't cause a safety car. So maybe him and his team just decided to call it a day.
A great shame.
It is a great shame. now Non-Runner is going to have DRS on Garrix. Garrix obviously isn't going to get DRS. In fact, White Lilac will get some DRS as well. And the closing rate of that Red Bull is pretty extreme. And next up the road for Red Bull is the Renault of Haddad, who is on 13-lap-old tyres.
Indeed he is, as Jan Fader has made his way. Whilst we were looking at the move from Non-Runner, Slick and ECR, Jan Fader has swapped position. Oh, that was nearly carry in the back of Nobody into turn one. Then the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari still side by side. Photon and Nobody fighting for what is currently 11th position. The Ferrari holds on to that. Then Carey in very short order as well. He's going to go for an inside maneuver coming into turn three. Can he get the pair of them? No, he thinks better of that one, but he still sticks on the inside of the Toro Rosso. Oh, there might be words said about that. But that is Carrington up into 12th now in the Williams car. Jumping further up, Garrix is hanging on to the back of Non-Runner. We saw that swap happen previously. White Lilac is within DRS range in the Ferrari. There they are coming through the stadium, through the castle section. Actually smashes them. Smashes very nearly within DRS range himself in the Sauber, so he's just a couple of tenths off of that. I don't think he's going to quite manage it this time around. And Garrix has actually fallen out of DRS range from Non-Runner. Non-Runner's had a good drive out of that turn 16, so he's going to hopefully hang on to that position. That's second place then for the Red Bull. On board with White Lilac, who should have DRS off the back of the Mercedes. Is Garrix going to bring that car in? There's 11-lap-old super softs on him. Yep, and out from the slipstream goes White Lilac, and also that's Haddad as well from the lead. So Non-Runner is your new race leader. I'd imagine he will bring that car in fairly soon. As Tunisia on the soft tyres gets the new fastest lap of 140.2. And also Jan Fader is in again. Oh, what a shame. The charging McLaren has unfortunately had to bring that car in again. Just tyres, so no new wing for you. Although it's being held there for a while. That's a bit of a shame, but your new leader then is... So both Red Bulls have led this race at one point, but the one that was leading earlier is back up into fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. I can now tell you, Chromatic did actually have a race-ending incident. Unfortunately, he hit the wall. It didn't need a safety car, so he was obviously in a more convenient place than when Danny had his crash. Yeah. So Non-Runner's going to be coming in soon, although he's been able to nurse those tyres really well. In fact, Non-Runner and White Lilac on different compound tyres, same amount of laps, is the same tyre wear at the moment. So White Lilac has been very aggressive on his tyres. If we look at Smash though, Smash has been a lot more hasn't overdriven the car, and his tyres are in a much better shape than the two in front. So expect to see him really challenging the top two quite close. And then of course Wycombs is just in the best position of all of them. He's got the freshest tyres. I think he wants to go to the end of these tyres, but he might need to bolt on some Ultra Softs for the last few laps.
But Tunisia and Donoso are right with him now. They've got fresher tyres still than Wycombs, as Non-Runner brings his car in. 12 laps on those super softs, or 13 laps rather, is enough on those super soft tyres. Tunisia again with the fastest lap of the race in the Renault, bearing down on the now third place Red Bull of Wycombs. You just saw the top of the shot. That was Smash and White Lilac fighting for the lead of the race. They have got their race starting, or near race starting, softs on. They came in under the safety car, the bolt those on. And Nobody and Garrix have swapped position. That is for the last championship paying position as well. So these two are going to have that Wycombs train joining them, I would think, in the next few laps, the way they've been going on. But Wycombs now under a lot of pressure. Look at the Renault. Tunisia. Donoso needs to be careful to not lose that DRS range from the back of the Renault, but he's got 6 seconds between himself and Slick, so he's not going to be under any immediate danger at the moment. Now flying up through the castle section, and yeah, Wycombs are going to have a fair amount of defending to do.
Absolutely. The thing is there's pretty much nothing you can do down that back straight. You can have your ERS deployment on max. You can see at the moment, Tunisia only has his ERS on setting number 1. He had it on 0 a minute ago, and his ERS is looking very healthy indeed, almost 80%. That's better than the drivers around.
Ooh. Sorry, that was Donoso getting very, very lively on the exit 16.
Let's have a look with Tunisia. In fact, surely he's got the move done, and they're not even in for DRS. Wycombs is gonna now tuck behind Tunisia.
Yeah, but Smash has got the lead.
Oh,
Smash
so he has.
Yeah, the Smash has got the. Yeah, so both overtakes happening well before their respective braking zones. So that is now VP Smash into the lead in the Sauber with White-Lineback in short succession as well, but that gap now down to barely a second between the Renault and the Ferrari. So what was a two-car train, as failure gets the new fastest lap, is going to become a 5-car train. There it is in that shot. You just saw first to fifth, all of them on the soft tyres, because the top two having more mileage on their respective sets of rubber than these two. But yeah, that is absolutely amazing work. Great effort then by our guys, of course, helped by the issues of others, as any racing is. But yeah, this top battle is going to get very, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, before Failer set that fastest lap, Tunisia's lap time was in a different league. It's a whole second faster than Wycombe's. He's really got the pace. And you can see, actually, there is a mini gap forming between Tunisia and White, which to me suggests that actually White Lilac is still going pretty well on those current tyres. But I would expect to see the Renault over the Ferrari. He's got so much fresher rubber. He's not going to understeer like the Ferrari, and you can see how much he's closing in already. He did the same to Wycomb's last lap. Maybe he's just running very low wings now. He's got to be careful, has Tunisia, in case White Lilac wants to come into the pit. And he did, so he's very, very lucky. Oh,
yeah, that was a little bit dicing with death there, because Tunisia would not have known that White Light wanted to pit at that particular moment. But that is one of the top 5 now out of the way. Smash now leads Tunisia from Wycombe from Donoso. We'll see where White Lilac reappears once he has fitted that pit up. Looks like it's going to be super softs then for the Sauber. Now streaming on down to for the Ferrari, I beg your pardon. Tunisia then keeping the pressure on for that race lead. Smash doesn't technically need to pit, but those tyres are not going to last to the end. He will realistically have to pit, otherwise he's just going to be an absolute sitting duck on that start-finish straight. But of course, whilst Smash is going to be a bit slower, look at that, Tunisia wanting to get on with it, looking on the inside of turn 7. That would have been exceedingly brave to try and move there. But the 3 cars behind him not likely to need pit again. Wycombe's tyres will be a bit second-hand by the time the checkered flag falls, but it is certainly doable. Through turn 12 now, coming back downhill. Is Smash going to be able to fend them off? Is he going to try and fend them off? Smash may well realise he can. He just has not got the tyre life. Again, understeer, bouncing off the wall. And Donoso didn't have a good run out of that turn 15 either. Now through 16. Over the curve again. Donoso just seems to really struggle. And that is, a 5-second stop-go penalty for Photon for exceeding track limits. Goodness me, that is a big penalty indeed. And now Tunisia, he's going to do the same move again. He's jumped to the inside. That's going to be a problem for Smash if he wants to come in this time. That is the race lead to the Renault of David Tunisia. Did Smash come in? No, he didn't.
Look at Wycombes. Oh, I was going to say, he was closing in very quickly. Now, the thing with Smash Kodiak, it's doable. There's only, 7 laps left, and his tyres aren't awful. I mean, they're not ideal, but it is doable. It's going to be so close. It's literally, if he gets a puncture, it could be on the last couple of corners. So that's how close it is for Smash at the moment. Wycomb's really closing in. In fact, almost hitting the back of that Sauber and pushing it into the wall.
Wycomb's has gone back.
So actually getting a pretty good exit, possibly having a look at Wycomb's through his own mistake, and hasn't been able to capitalise.
Not yet. They're going to pretty much hold station in that particular position. Photon, let's look a little bit further down. Here's another train of cars. Photon on the back of Slick. Slick is 10 seconds behind Donoso, rather. Photon is right with Slick then, the second Renault, Daniele Haddad is there in 7th, Carry 8, Garrick's 9, and White Lilac is going to round out our top 10. Failer is right behind White Lilac as well, with Non-Runner in short position. So it's a lot of fighting still going on, but jumping back up to the front there, look at Tunisia, he is gone. Now that he's cleared that Sauber, he is already out of DRS race. Surely Smash is going to think about bringing that car in just to bolt on, just to secure the position, but he might not do. He's going to be 20-25 seconds overall kind of pit lane loss. It's going to could potentially put him out of the points. So that's going to be a tricky one for Smash to have to manage.
Absolutely. A hat-trick of wins for David Tunisia. That's a pretty, in any racing, that is a pretty good record.
Ooh.
And oh my, wow! Denoso on the left.
What a move! Oh, he's overshot at turn 1.
Oh, no. Oh, Denoso, that was going so well.
It was. If he pulled that off, that would have been an incredible overtake going into turn 1, but just overcooked that one. And that's Wycombe's now up to 2nd. He's cleared Smash in that exchange. Haddad has actually gotten past Slick as well. So whilst that was going on, there's actually been various overtakes going on all across the board, which obviously can't look at absolutely everybody. There is a Driver of the Day vote going on for this race. So have a look at that. Make your votes. That's going to be pretty tricky, I think. There's so much great racing going on. Photon and Slick swapping position there in 6th. The Ferrari and the Sauber swapping around as the...
Kodiak. So, although if I was voting for my driver of the day, I'd probably say Tunisia. He's up 10 positions. Absolutely incredible. And Mark...
True.
There's a bit of a... I don't know what happened there. It just looks like he really distracted Smash. But anyway, they all seem to be in pretty close company once again. And Wycombe's isn't pulling away how I expected him to. Although he has got that small gap between him and Donoso. And he needs that small gap because Donoso has slightly fresher tyres than Wycombe's.
Indeed. Looking at Donoso, he's going to be shaping up a move on Smash. Smash is actually with the DRS in the slipstreams, hanging on to the back of Wycombe's. There goes the Force India. Oh, nearly impact. We're going to have 3 wide again into turn 1. No, Donoso knows better than to try that kind of move. And it's going to be a switch back then for Donoso on the inside coming into turn 2. That's surely going to be job done for Donoso in the Force India. Yes, it is. That is 3rd place then for Fabrizio, as he then chases after Wycombe's. But Tunisia has we have a problem in sector 1. What's going on down here? Oh, that's White Lilac on the outside of Carrington, I believe. That is for 10th place. Failure has actually gone up into the pits as nobody brings his car in again, so he's had trouble. Carry, look at the train of cars there. That's a lot of people racing across the board, because I'm trying to keep an eye on everybody indeed, but mainly keeping an eye on this battle. 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Tunisia is gone to the tune of nearly 2 seconds. So I think Wycombe's are going to have a lot of work to do keeping that Force India behind him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Donoso is looking pretty quick. He showed really good pace at the beginning of the race, and for whatever reason, it just dropped off a little bit. We know Donoso likes this track. He won here last time, and Wycombe's very almost... In fact, Wycombe's has got wing damage. He's going to be coming into the pits.
No!
Surely. He's going to have catastrophic understeer. This is a good display on if he's able to continue in this race on with his current front wing. And what's it looking like? Not too bad at the moment. But if he's coming into the pits, no, he isn't. He's deciding to out. So it'll be very interesting. Wycombe's, well, I don't know. I think could be looking at 5th at best at the moment.
Well, that was a bit of a shame. Just taking the wall, taking too many liberties with the concrete. It will bite you. Very unsuspectingly, is he going to be able to hang on to the back of the Force India then if he has got damage on there? Now 2.5 seconds to the good for Tunisia. 5 laps remain of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at Baku.
What a race.
Yeah.
Just like China last time out. Wycombe's is still on the back of Donoso, although he's losing a little bit of time, although not quite as much as I expected, but he is losing quite a bit of time to the Force India.
Oh, Garrix is in trouble. Sorry, Hamish, I saw the Garrix was losing a lot of position. I saw the yellow flags out. He'd had trouble, I think, there at turn 3. He overcooked that one and ended up in the runoff area. He's now down into 10th place. But also, got to mention Jan Failure. Bearing in mind he's been in the pits twice. He's had his name on the fastest lap board. He's challenging Photon for 6th. And there, sadly, is the disconnected car of VP Mark. Minding his own business, carrying on in the house. So that could well be. I don't know that Fade is going to catch anybody besides Photon. Then Haddad is another 5 seconds down the road from this particular battle. Now that the top 3 have sorted themselves out, we can look further down the field. Fader shaping up a move. He's on the Superstar tyres. He's been on them for 7 laps. Same as Haddad. We've got a few people from the Ultrasoft runners. A few people having to pit towards the end of the race, unfortunately. Oh, and again, so close to the wall. Fader then gets the ERS amount up. He's going to have DRS. He's going to have the move done before he even opens DRS almost. So that is 6th then for the McLaren of Jan Fader. Not gone entirely his way, but he has battled on nonetheless. And and again.
Oh, wait.
Go on.
Sorry, Kodiak. White Lilac has had a big issue. He came into a pit and lost his front wing instantly.
Oh,
so
no.
So he'd be coming, well, into the pits again now. I would have thought.
Yeah, big chunk missing of that one.
Terminal. Oh, dear. That is not good for Team Ferrari.
Certainly not. So White Lilac is his race is done with. Unsurprisingly, one of the Ultra runners, nobody getting the fastest lap then in what is now 12th for him. It's a shame when people's races undo themselves like that. Yeah, Wycombs just does not have an answer for Donoso. Now 2 seconds between the Red Bull and the Force India. Smash could have an opportunity to steal that podium. It all depends how much life is in those tyres. He's had them for 20 laps. He's got them for another 4. So unless he chooses to pit now, it would be fairly pointless. The field actually spread out. No one has DRS now. Wow, it was taken to lap 23 for that to come about.
Absolutely. It's interesting because Wycombs has, well, the reason he's losing so much to Donoso is because of that front wing. And the reason Smash isn't really gaining on Wycombs, although he will have DRS just about,
he will this
is
time,
because, and the reason that gap is kind of staying about the same is because of his tyre wear. So it's going to be very interesting. Is Wycombs' front wing, how much is it going to affect him? Because of course his tyres are getting worse as well. They're fairly second-hand, Wycombs tyres, but they're not as bad as Smash.
Indeed, but Smash has really eaten into that gap. It's now less than 7/10, so he's going to be putting the pressure on Wycombs for 3rd place. Tunisia leads Donoso by nearly 3 seconds now. Unless Tunisia has an argument with the wall, this is going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Renault. Great effort then by Donoso. He had the pole and the win last time around. It's going to take a mistake, I think, from the Renault to repeat the win. But Wycombe still has some work to do to hang on to the podium spot. We spoke to him last time out in China. It was 2nd that Wycombe's had there, if memory hasn't failed me.
So, Wycombe's so far, he's got a few laps to keep this podium position. Amazing, Kodiak.
Oh dear. That's a penalty for Wycombe's. Well, unfortunately that was...
I was going to say, not a single driver has picked up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. It looks like
5 seconds is what's being...
Going.
Yeah, Wycombe's has got...
for Wycombe.
No.
Because that means here into, well, P6, P5 at the moment. Yeah. And it looks like Smash, well, he's got the position, so unless something catastrophic happens to Sam, it looks like that's where he's going to finish. So very good job by Smash. His last result, his first race in China, was P16 to P3. It's a pretty good net gain.
That's a pretty decent recovery. Oh, another battle going on here. It's Slick and Non-Runner. That'll be one that's changed on the start-finish straight as the Red Bull gets ahead of... Oops, a bit of a bounce off the wall. Wow, Slick getting very... And his tyres are very warm. 21 laps on those softs as well, so He's got very little left in those. Getting DRS off the back of the Red Bull, I don't think is going to help him a great deal. He's just got no rubber left to be able to defend. Let's keep an eye on Wycombe's. 2 laps to go, and he's really going to have to work very, very hard to try and hang on to the back of Smash. And there is Haddad. So Haddad could well get interested in 4th as the race progresses. He's got...
Wycombe has that penalty, remember?
Oh, yes.
5 seconds. So unless he's able to get that removed, we're actually looking... Well, you need to add up the gap from Haddad and Failer, which is currently about 6.3 seconds. And so Failer is only, 1.3 seconds behind Wycombe's at the moment. So very close indeed. So Wycombe's, he might drop down to P6, which would not be good for him at all. Tunisia, what a driver. I think he'd be a lot of people's driver of the day. He's certainly my driver of the day. Hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been able to look after the tyres. He's on the right strategy. He's driving very quickly. He's got some of the most competitive lap times, although Donoso has improved his lap times since he overtook Wycombe's quite a number of laps ago. So fair. There's been an issue in Sector 2.
Oh, White Lilac's gone. Yeah, we've lost White Lilac. He came into the pits again, and alas, we've lost him from the race. He was down in 13th position, and look at that. Haddad already on the back of Wycombe's, but on the final lap now. And the Red Bull just has got no answer at all. It does look fairly comfortable for the Renault that he's going to gain that position, even if he doesn't do it in the twisty section. And Haddad will know that, unless he kind of fancies having a go at Smash, which he might. Or is he going to try coming down to turn 7? There he goes on the outside of the Red Bull's going to the inside.
Get a podium? Because I must tell you that Smash's tyres really aren't looking that good. Haddad is on mediocre super soft tyres. It's about half the recommended tyre wear at the moment. So Haddad is going to be absolutely pushing to the limit. Donoso is going to be crossing the line very shortly. He's already came down this downhill braking section, and Haddad is closing on Smash. I doubt it's enough.
It's going to be close, but he's going to have...
It's under a second.
Yeah, he's going to have DRS.
He needs to get a good drive. He has got a good drive. This is for 3rd place. This is a podium. This will be a fantastic result for Renault if they can get 1st and 3rd. He's got the DRS wide open any second now. Coming up towards the line. Closing. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Smash is going to get P3, and he does. Good job from the Sauber driver.
It was indeed. So Tunisia is your winner here in Baku, with Donoso 2nd, Smash 3rd, Haddad 4th, and of course now that the 5 seconds stop goes, the unserved element gets added on at the end. So that puts Failer up in 5th, Wycombe 6th, Non-Runner 7, Slick 8, Veloci Photon 9, Garrix 10, Carey 11, Nobody 12, and Mark, sadly we lost him near the beginning of the race, in 13th place, and we lost White Lilac, Chromatic, Vito, and Formula Danny. What a race!
That was amazing. I mean, what a race to come back to after a 3-week break, I think, Kodiak.
It felt like it is. It felt like a very long break, but there it is. There.
What a race! Fantastic job from Tunisia as well, being able to, do what he did. Just goes to show, if you can qualify on the right tyre, or you choose the right tyre to start the race on, it makes all the difference. I know we obviously lost Formula Danny, who knows how he would have performed, probably very well, but you can't take it away from Tunisia. He totally deserves the win.
Absolutely. Exactly as you said, I've got no argument with that one. Didn't put a foot wrong, played the strategy well. And there it is, confirmation of the finishing positions. Tunisia, Donoso, Smash, Haddad, Failer, Wycombe's, Non-Runner, Slick, Photon, and Garrix are your top 10. Shall we see who wants to talk to us?
Absolutely. Well, we obviously need to change our commentary thing, Kodiak, so let's go.
Oh yes, of course, we changed, didn't we? So we will need to change that. So bear with us a second whilst we do so. Now that the race is done, we shouldn't have too many lag problems going on. Let's see who is waiting to hand. There they are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. we have got Wycombs, Fader, Denoso, and Haddad wanting to talk to us. Oh, and Smash as well. Lots of people wanting to have a word. We'll try and talk to them all. What's the setup then? Let's grab them over. Is anybody going to have... Who we're going to catch mid-conversation? Oh, once again, they're getting too good at this. They're all spoiling my fun and not being in conversation when I drag them over. Damn all of you. Right. Hello, gentlemen. We certainly had a lot of fun commentating on you all. Didn't go quite according to plan for all of you, but let's have a word with you guys who've kindly made yourselves available. Let's start with Jan Fehler. Well, that was a very much a mixture of emotions for you. How was it for you?
Yeah, all I really want to say is, first of all, I'm stupid for making the wrong decision on the safety car, for then damaging my front wing after safety car, and I definitely threw away a podium here. I know not everyone's race was clean, but I'm that confident to say I threw away a podium here. So my pace is there, keep an eye out. I am up there now. I made my way up, now pace is there. Now I just have to live it.
Well, fighting talk again from Jan. Love it. We look forward to seeing how that's going to play out. Wycombs, we speak to you again, but didn't quite go your way. What happened towards the end?
You could say that something on my PC had an absolute meltdown. I drove with about, I don't know, 5 to 10 frames for the last 10 laps, so I literally just tried to not hit any walls, which unfortunately didn't happen, but yeah, whatever. I mean, you interviewed Jan now, so I'm just, whatever. I'm gonna take the points. The penalty will get removed, I think, because I only had this was my second warning, but whatever. Again, same as Jan, should have been a podium, but whatever.
So you tried your best. That's the thing with Baku, though, is that you've just got to push hard. You've got to argue with the wall, and sometimes it will bite you. But sadly, it didn't go your way, Wycombs. But we look forward to seeing you in the Combox post race as the season goes on. Well, Smash, good to see you. What a way to race this one. Great idea with the strategy. It looked like it was gonna kind of undo itself towards the end, and then obviously Wycombs had his issues. You must be quite pleased with that one.
Yeah, definitely. Since the start, when I was in P4 and I was seeing Danny going a little bit slowly, I didn't know why was that happening, but then suddenly I got the message with that safety car was deployed, and I've seen Danny out of the race, and then I was just deciding if I should pit or not, because I knew that my tower was quite good around here, so I knew I could probably stretch it out, but it will be on edge, so I was trying to decide what the failure and icons will do right in front of me. And I told to myself that if they don't pit, I will pit. So, and that's what happened. So I went into the pits, and yeah, during the safety car I was just trying to save my tires as much as I could, and same during the race. After the safety car, just really I wasn't even pushing that much, because I knew that it will be on edge. So yeah, towards the end of the race, where I saw Wycombs going really slowly, I thought to myself that he got damage. And once I passed him, I think it was at the end of lap 24, and I looked at my tires, they were around 70-ish%. So I really started sweating. And I was just trying to save my tires as much as I could, and somehow it worked out. And yeah, as you said, I'm really pleased with P3 today.
Awesome stuff. Very well played indeed. Fabrizio Dinoso, hello to you.
Hello, good evening, guys. Yeah.
How was that one for you?
No, not a bad race. I knew that super soft was the best strategy. Maybe the safety car compromised a bit my strategy with the other one that were on the same. Anyways, I knew I could overtake in the second stint on the softs. Made a few mistakes there and there overtaking, but anyways, P2 is a great result, starting P8, and congrats to Tonizza that won the race.
Speaking of, we have our race winner with us, Mr. Oh no, sorry, we have his teammate Daniele Haddad. My mistake, Ron Renault. So, and
yes,
didn't quite go your way this time, Daniele. What happened for you this time?
Well, tonight was an hard race for me. Good evening, everybody. It wasn't a good quali. Unfortunately, I didn't find the grip, correct grip, in the last and only lap that I had in the quali, and so I've started 12. And from there, I was just calm, trying to believe in myself and going on and see what happens. I'm so sorry for what happened with the penalty, because I was overtaken. I was just behind David Tonizza during the safety car. Then the ghost of Mark overtook me, and at the restart I was behind him. But of course, I need to push, and I overtook him, and I took a 5-second stop and go penalty. It was a pity, of course. I hope that I will have 5 seconds back in order to take the podium and to take a good position in a night a little bit difficult for me, and in a track that I don't like too much.
At least we've got it out of the way. Well, one thing I can say is that the votes for Driver of the Day have come in, and the result is Wycombs has been voted your Driver of the Day for his performance. It was very close. It was a very close vote between himself and Tonizza, and Donoso was also the top 3 drivers, but Wycombs has taken that particular accolade. Well done to you, the fan favourite today, and very deserved indeed. And I think we can wrap it up at this stage.
Okay, I just want to say, do you want Tonizza quickly for a minute?
Yes, as he's just made himself available. Why the devil not? So, yep, so we'll grab. And there he is. We have our race winner, Mr. Tonizza. Thank you for coming to join us. How was that? You looked like you played that one flawlessly. You qualified outside of the top 10, and it looked like everything just went your way. How was that for you?
Yeah, the strategy was perfect, but in the first stint there was that safety car. There was also a lot of traffic, so I was a little bit stuck behind Crow, which had soft tires. But then I managed to overtake him, and as you said, it was not a flawless race, but I had a very good pace, and I'm also happy of an overtake. I did an overtake at turn 7 against Crow, and then I'm so happy because this is the third race which I won, so I'm really happy.
Excellent. Well done to you. Oh, we're getting
thank you.
Getting me the feedback off of somebody there. One of you guys is giving us. Oh, it might be Daniele who's. Indeed, lots of people have jumped out of channel and it has stopped. We will have to wrap it up here then. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. It has been a great pleasure to have you along with us. Thank you very much, Hamish, for tolerating me in the commentary box. You fight very hard to get a word in edgeways, but you wither it well. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, you know, I feel like I fight as much as some of the drivers do, son.
Fair.
What a good race, though. Very good.
Indeed. Thank you very much to our drivers for putting on an amazing show. As always, a great pleasure to commentate with them. Thank you very much to our sponsors. It is great to have you on board, and we look forward to more exciting action next time. So from us here at AOR, thank you very much, and good night.